Hello, everyone. So, today I just wanted to pop in with a chit chat. So I haven't done one in a while. I went out today and just for like, I got a lobster salad and sat outside and ate it. And, the weather was pretty nice here. A little bit chilly for me, but pretty nice. So I got out to get some fresh air to enjoy it. I didn't exactly do my makeup like this, but I just added like the gold liner because I am trying to use it, quite honestly. Like I had it and just like let it sit for a while, and so I was like, you know what? Let me try to like incorporate this into some things. I was either going to use it or give it away, but then I tried it and I was like, I could do some things with this. So don't mind me. I'm just like experimenting with it. But so I wore this shadow, which this is mica powder that matches my dress better in real life. But it's a mica powder I had that is about this blue turquoisey color shade, and also a neutral color from the Minted Neutral palette, the Everyday palette that I have. Everyday Essentials, I think it's called. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. I also wanted to draw attention. I started talking about my makeup because I wanted to show you another lip gloss and throw in a review for it. So this is Lip Bar. The color I'm wearing is called Heartbreaker. And if you've never seen Lip Bar's products, they come in these beautifully designed containers, and so the lid just twists off. I put it on really tight because I like for it to line up because it's square shaped. Otherwise, it's like kind of offset. But anyway, yeah, so the consistency of this, it's actually it's not, it's thin. Thin comes to mind, but not thin in a cheap way. Thin in just like a non-gluey, gloppy kind of way. You know how lip gloss is just like very viscous is probably the word. Very gloppy. It's thick. Um, this isn't like that. I feel like my corner are doing that thing again. Anyway, so yeah, like it has, I don't want to say it has a lighter consistency. That's not it. Um it covers pretty well, but it isn't thick. Yeah, it's not thick and gloppy. That's the best way I can put it. But so it feels different. And for me, it's not better, it's not worse. It's just like a different feel than other lip glosses. But I highly recommend them. So they have $8 lip gloss and lipstick sales probably like every week, or it has been a lot recently. I've just been stocking up on their colors. So I got Heartbreaker and I'm up to like maybe six more of their colors that I just bought and haven't tried. Six to eight more. Either way. So that's that. I wanted to review this to show you guys another one of my favorite black owned makeup companies products, so you will hopefully go out and buy Lip Bar. They are in some Targets actually. I haven't seen them up here like in the New York, New Jersey area, but I believe I've seen them in Atlanta in Target, and I I do know that you can, and I've done this up here. You can actually um order on the Target website and they will ship it to your store. If not, just visit their website, which is thelipbar.com, not just lipbar.com. That's another company and it is not black owned as far as I was able to determine. So, yeah, other than that, I don't want to talk about stuff that people have been talking about, not because it's not going on, but just like even when I come onto YouTube, I kind of skip those videos because I'm having those conversations in real life with like minded people. That's like a huge thing. like I'm a person, I read and listen to a lot of, hold on a sec. I'm back. I just tried to fix these corners. I don't know what's wrong with my lips, like whether I just need to like exfoliate even though I do more often now, but yeah, the color just won't stay on these corners. Um I hope that's not annoying. If it is, just whatever, deal with it. You'll be fine. So I was saying, I'm not a person who's closed off to other perspectives, but there are certain things where like I try to ascertain what I'm in the headspace to listen to take in, to do, to communicate about, to read, like all that stuff at any given time. And for me, it's just been a time of like, not only actually, but like mostly, especially now that like, things have started the way they've started. Uh, as in we're beyond day one of all this stuff now. So, I have been more so communicating and just like venting with, and listening and talking to people who I know are like-minded, who have opinions I respect, who have similar values to mine, who I don't know, they kind of, well, yeah, I won't get into all that, but like-minded people, and it's been helpful. So I'm not going to talk about any of that. I will talk about how to deal with stress and trauma, actually, and how being organized can help with that. Because I feel like a lot of people just like don't know what to do, and there are little ways I think people kind of like get so sucked in that they forget to look after their own health, their own protecting their mentality, their mindset. I'm gesturing because it bothers me. Like I may switch colors so that this isn't so noticeable. I've had really dry lips lately, so well, I would be a liar to say I'm detoxing. I had been doing another juice detox um for the past 2 days, but then today I actually went and got a lobster salad and it had mayonnaise and stuff in it, which on this detox you can actually do. If you get hungry, you can eat some vegetables basically, or maybe a piece of fruit. But not like often, like if you've been detoxing all day and you just need something because you're lightheaded or you're about to go run out and do something and you need the energy, which my energy hasn't been low on this at all, but it's kind of like an entry level type of detox. So like the plan makes um accommodations for people who aren't accustomed to detoxing. I didn't really have to use any of those. But today, like I had planned to do some things today, and um went and got my lobster salad, and because if I weren't detoxing, I would have done a lobster roll, but I actually feel better not having done the roll, because just thinking about it just now, I thought, ugh, bread heavy. But I had this salad instead, and it was from Jack's Lobster Shack, and it had nice chunks of lobster, and on the bottom layer it had a little bit of lettuce. Well, no, I shouldn't say a little. It had like, it wasn't like, I will definitely not say that it was more salad than lobster meat. There's probably more lobster meat than lettuce, which is great. Cost like $20. So lobster meat on top, and then a little bit of lettuce, and then like it's all in one bowl, and so like half of it is just the lobster with the little bit of lettuce on the bottom, and on the other like half of the bowl, it's not divided, it's just kind of like section, or not section, but they just put it in there, but like each ingredient in its own space, more or less. So they put potato salad, and it wasn't bad potato salad at all, actually. um which I would have gotten it without the potato salad. I didn't know that I could have done that, actually. I thought the potato salad would be on the side and I'd just save it till tomorrow. and just eat like the lettuce and the lobster, which lobster isn't on the juice diet, but vegetables are. So I could have like a bit of lettuce if I felt hungry. Um, but that did not yeah, it was all in one bowl. So I was like, I'll just eat it. It's fine. Um so I did two and let's say two and a half, maybe a little more than two and a half, because I went past noon, but I slept in, so I'm trying to account for that. But we'll call it 2.5 days of a 3-day detox on juices, which I have one of my juices here, Bionic Glow. And this one is watermelon, strawberry, and lemon. The others have a variety of other ingredients: ginger, kale, beets. There are um maybe like 7 different types of juice, 6, 7. And so you repeat them throughout the day and there's a schedule you follow. I didn't really follow the schedule, partly because it's subtle in how they present it. Like it's I'll just watch my review video for the juice detox thing and I'll explain um more about how like the weird schedule looks. So I there's a picture of the little brochure thing they give you, and it has the schedule on it, and it's just pictured weird. Like I didn't even notice that it was a schedule because of the way it's like illustrated. But so like but then I forgot that there was a schedule that came with it and I just started doing my own thing. So I've been doing just juice. I did have a little bit of sunflower seeds just because, not even, probably not even a full serving. Last night I had those. But other than that, it's been pretty much juice. And today I had my lobster salad. I would definitely order from that place because the lobster was so good and the people were friendly, which is important with me. I care a lot about service. So, um, wow, that was a huge tangent. I just remembered that I was telling you that I would prefer to talk more to people about, to you, my viewers, about how to handle and process trauma. And I know that in my organizing business, when well, or on my social medias for that, when I post about things like that, they're very well received and people are like, I needed to hear this. I never thought about it this way. Um, so yeah, I think it might be more helpful for me to talk about that versus like the actual events that are going on. So let's get into it, shall we? Um, and let me say I could also make just like a separate video about these types of topics. So let me know. Um, it's bothering me. um, this coverage on my lip, or maybe it's probably my lip that just rejects lip color in those spots for some reason. Um I probably need to exfoliate more. Anyway, I'm debating whether I should just pause and put more on. You know what? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. This is kind of ridiculous. Like that just made it worse. I'm just going to talk. um so should I edit this part of the video out? Like it's really irritating. You know what? Let's just talk. So, now you're gonna be staring at it because I mentioned it. Can I angle my head so that you can't really see it? Okay, please don't think this is lip bar's problem. Like, if I zoom in more, you can see how dry my lips are. Um, it's just, I think the detoxing is doing this. My lips have been drier since detoxing. I could use some water, actually. You know, whatever. I'm a real person. I'm a human being and I have human being issues sometimes and you're here to witness them. So anyway, let's talk about trauma. So stuff like this that's happening, hold on, I can't. Okay, I'm back. So, another quick review. I've enlisted the help of my Lanolips lip scrub, which it's basically a balm that's lemony and it's got sugar scrub granules in it, and it's going to help my life basically. Um so and where did I think I just put my finger in this. I think I'm so all over the place. Um I got this from Bloomingdale's. Sorry, just closing the container. Anyway, so let's talk about trauma. No, no, it's too sticky. Let's talk about trauma. So, with things that happen in, with things that happen in the world, that was my lip exfoliating, which is the reason I put this stuff on. Um, So, with things that are happening in the world, whenever something dominates the news, whenever there's like a world event, a city event, something that's like a big deal that is stressful, it is very tempting for many of us to really lock in on the headlines and coronavirus. I mean, like, we're not even out of the coronavirus thing and this stuff is going on. So, which by the way, in my comment, I feel like I don't know if I should mention it or not because I feel like if I mention it, people are gonna do it. But I don't want people to do it. Okay, so one second. Okay, hopefully that fixes things, but my lips might be a little bit gummy with like lip fragments peeling off because of this Lanolip stuff. So please um just ignore it. Anyway, so whenever something happens, it can be tempting to just lock in on the headlines, and it's all you talk about, it's all you read. You're watching videos on it, you're waiting to see what somebody else said about it. You're talking to family members, you're talking to friends, you're thinking about it, you're listening to it on podcasts, the radio, the um do people listen to the radio, don't they? Like in the car and stuff maybe. Um Internet radio. Like you're just trying to take in more and more. You want the latest info. XYZ. It's good to be informed. I will say that source matters. I have been so tempted to do something. You know what? I'm gonna do that for my business, one of my business accounts. But I've been so tempted to do something on here, helping people, directing people toward more reliable sources because it grinds my gears when I see people sharing something just because they saw it on the internet or because they heard it. Um, Meanwhile, like all you're doing is working people up. You're inciting fear. Even if it's not your intention, you might incite fear. You might trigger some people who like legitimately have anxiety and things like that. All because you heard something on the internet one day. And for me, that's not really acceptable. Like, it let's I'm not saying let's not prepare for things or whatever, or let's not anticipate that things could get bad in general, not just talking about this. But let's not just sit around and dwell and harp on things and speculate. The speculation, the oh, I heard they're gonna unleash a bunch of bears in the street and coat us all in honey, stuff like that. you know Even if you did see a truck delivering bears into the city, or down to city hall or whatever, um we can talk about that if within the context of logic. So if you saw something, oh man, yeah, this source and that source, this reliable source and that reliable source and that reliable source, or even better, I saw with my own eyes, plus they just reported on, or plus this person just, whatever. Um Here's a photo of them bringing bears into the city. That's one thing where like things sound crazy but they really are, and you're just conveying info. It's something else when you're like, oh man, the end times are coming and we need to talk about this and then go about our daily lives like as if I just didn't like shake some people up. I think there is a place for that, and there are people and groups who enjoy having these discussions, and it's better to have these discussions among those people versus in mixed company where somebody's tolerance level might be different. Because I think people, especially online, really do get off on just like talking about how bad things could get without, yeah, just like how bad things could get. Like who wants to quote unquote excitedly talk about that, unless you're actively like, hey, I just whatever, like I just found a source for bottled water so we can all stock up, or I'm teaching a course on planting gardens, or hunting, or like whatever people are doing. I'm teaching a course on just like stocking up on supplies, what supplies you might need in case. Let me not talk like this, because I mean I'm not intending to talk like this, but I mean we could talk about it within the context of the COVID shutdown, or like hurricane season or whatever, just like because I also up here a lot of people put together these survival kits of just like water and MREs and things like that, meals ready to eat, like the powdered food military grade type stuff, in case there's a flood again, stuff like that. I'm not like trying to like talk about like, but it's one thing if you're like teaching people how to put together like a bottled water kit, and like telling them what type of radio they could get in case like the power goes down, because you've heard that like there's storms or something on the horizon. But like if you're just like talking about like bad stuff that you think slash predict will happen, and you're not like offering any solace or solutions or like plans or any of that stuff, or comfort, because like even in troubled times people can offer and experience and share and provide comfort. That's like the whole purpose in community to me. But like spiritually there's comfort that comes to us, but also like we can share that with each other. um and maybe that is something. Maybe people aren't tapped in or don't receive spiritual comfort, so they don't have comfort to offer someone else. Because it's a flow. um Money, resources, I believe all that stuff kind of flows. um Knowledge. And if you're not receiving, if you're not overflowing with it, then maybe your disposition isn't that of a person who like logically and calmly is equipped or able to give, or willing to give it, or able, or what, I don't know, like maybe that's just not how whatever. Maybe certain people aren't in a place for that, and that's why they would prefer to talk about like, yeah, things that get people worked up. So anyway, what you can do for yourself, what I can do, what we can do for ourselves. um Again, I'm with like the scheduling your breaks, and like with work, scheduling downtime, scheduling a 5-minute break, taking your lunch break, don't work through it. So the same thing applies to dealing with trauma. So even if it's a situation where you have to stay involved, stay informed, alert, informed, whatever, you still need those 15-minute breaks. You like whatever you can manage. You don't have to like take a whole day off, and please don't wait until you're just too run down to log on. But don't binge on news. Don't do that. So like plan other activities. Plan, you know, I can read the news, but and set timers on your phone if you have to. I can read the news, but after every 30 minutes I have to take a 5-minute break. After every hour I need to take a 15-minute break. I need to get up from the bed, the couch, the computer, whatever you're like doing wherever you are to read the news, and I need to take out the trash. I need to walk, just like go sit in another part of the house. I need to walk around the block. I need to take a shower, make a cup of tea. Like, you got to schedule those breaks, and you should have, if you're on lockdown, if you're at home, if you're working from home, you got to be scheduling those breaks and taking them frequently. But if you're working, you should focus on work during those work intervals. So if you're, I always recommend 20-minute intervals when it's work. Focus on work for 20 minutes, no breaks. And then after those 20 minutes, you have a scheduled break. You have you have a 5-minute break where you can scroll your timeline, where you can text your friend back, whatever the case may be. And at the end of that break, you go back to your work. Well, with trauma, I'm not going to tell you to focus intently on the trauma during your on time when you're allowing yourself to read the news, but just do what you do, take it in, read it, whatever. Maybe tell somebody about it if you've got like loved ones you want to text or call or whatever, but take your scheduled breaks. Don't sit there for more than an hour. I would say not more than an hour without getting up to go to the bathroom, going to get some water, making some tea. Another thing you want to do, I feel a video coming on, like an informative video where I'm like including notes and things. But that's just it's how my brain kind of works. But so in addition to taking the breaks, another thing you want to do is check in with yourself. Check in with yourself when you wake up in the morning. Ask yourself how you're feeling. Think about why you might be feeling that way. It's okay if you don't have answers, but at least just note that you're feeling a certain way. If you're into journaling, write it down. If you're not, maybe make a note on your phone, but like take yourself seriously to the extent that like you're monitoring your well-being. So, let's say you wake up feeling exhausted, make a note, woke up feeling exhausted. You might want to spend 5 or 10 minutes thinking about, well, why am I so exhausted? What happened yesterday? And did I sleep funny? Like, did I have a bad dream? Oftentimes, being able to pinpoint the reason, being able to think back to what happened makes you feel a little more at ease. It makes you feel a little bit more in control of the situation, makes you feel better, more like you understand yourself, more like you understand how things affect you. And along the same vein of understanding how things affect you, you can plan to either avoid certain things or just like mentally prepare. If certain things are unavoidable, or let's say you do have this habit of constantly checking the news, you can kind of mentally prepare and plan again, like with planning the breaks, or with I know I feel overwhelmed when I do XYZ, so I know I have to go for a run, or like go on the treadmill, or go for a walk, or do an exercise video for 30 minutes at the end of every day because it helps me calm down, whatever. So yeah, check in with yourself. I was gonna say do it at least 3 times a day. However often works for you. You might be in a situation where you've got a bunch of moving parts and you need 5 times a day. Whatever the case may be. 3 is easy because you can space it out as soon as you wake up, midday around lunchtime, and then in the evening, check in with your day. So check in with yourself about how your day went. So like in the morning, how you feel, that'll impact how you interact with the rest of the world, how you perceive information going through the rest of the day. Checking in with yourself at lunchtime. Do I still feel the way I felt this morning? Hey, I'm feeling better. What did I do that helps me feel better in these times? Let me make a note of that. Or let's say you don't feel bad, oh, this is a good day. I'm still having a good day. I've got a little bit of extra energy. Is there another task I want to tackle today? Or maybe I want to call somebody and talk to them and they'll feel better too, whatever. Just like plan things according to your energy level. That's another kind of sub point. Anticipate like how things might make you feel, or I don't know, just be introspective when you're doing these check-ins, and be very keen about identifying how different things impact your mood, your energy level, your health, all that stuff. And then ideally you'll like make adjustments to your lifestyle, your day, your habits, whatever, to remedy those things so that you feel better, like so that more of those check-ins are you know experiences where you realize you were feeling good or better or making progress. There's no pressure on that, but ideally, we check in with ourselves because we want to be healthy, not because we want to stay miserable or to be miserable. If you're not miserable, like point being, if you might get up on the wrong side of the bed, but you can steer the train in the right direction, get it back on track. If you're checking in with yourself, if you're thinking about what really upset you, if you're expressing those emotions, whether you're writing them down, whether you need to have a conversation with somebody, like getting it out right then and then moving on, I think is very helpful, especially in times like this when anxiety could be high. Um, just like expressing that is powerful. So, beyond checking in with yourself, what can we do to manage traumatic situations? Be careful of how, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm sure you know the expression protect your energy. Be careful of the people that you engage with, and be careful of the energy you bring to other people. But let's start with protecting yourself from others, like other people, other situations that could like cause more of those check-ins to be negative. So like yeah, like if you have a Debbie, like I'll talk about myself. Right now, I know that there are certain categories of people I simply cannot do right now, and so I don't. I have a cousin who was posting like some crazy stuff on Facebook. Not, I'm, you, yeah. I have a cousin who was posting like some crazy, unhelpful stuff on Facebook, and I told my friend about her. So I was talking to my friend, we're venting, and I'm like, I might disown this cousin. And she was like, well, do you see her often? And I'm like, well, she was like, are you close to her? And I'm like, I mean, I like her, but we don't talk like that. We're just like on Facebook. And she's like, okay, well, do you have to see her like often at family events or anything? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, well, delete her. I'm like, yeah, so I haven't deleted her, but I said this to my friend, like, for me it was a disappointment. I'm always disappointed when I see anyone talk like that, but my family is a certain way, and to see a family member talk like that, which kind of is contrary to the way a lot of us are, it's disappointing, not in a way that I want to control or change her, but just like sad, but mildly sad. And so I said to my friend, like it's not even like that. Like I could just ignore her easily. I've done it before. She said crazy stuff before. I'm not even entirely surprised, but she's somebody that like I can ignore. And not even in a shady way, but it's just like I could just scroll past and keep going and not worry about it. So I've not unfriended her. I may unfollow her if she just like goes on a posting spree. And that's another thing. I don't see her post often anyway, but yeah, so okay, so that's one example, that cousin. Other examples, people I do engage with more often, I know how they think, so I already know I don't care. I don't need to read their opinions on certain stuff. Now, depending on my mindset, if I am open to kind of like seeing a little bit of negativity, which you know what I mean, like sometimes you're kind of with the mess a little bit. So not intending to engage these people, just like seeing, so I could be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I knew you were like that in my head. Um, so, um, a couple of people have surprised me in that they've not been awful, but there are people who are just like, you don't agree with them, and their viewpoint might be just like, I'm trying to avoid using the word heinous, but their viewpoint might be wrong, just like wrong, immoral, violent, even like avoid all of that. I know like people, different example, but people like to go on these posts and share these posts about like misogynistic stuff or like racist stuff or like look at what this guy said. Like, don't do that. Don't engage with that. Don't so that this brings me to another example, stuff I avoid completely. I keep scrolling if I begin like the first few words, if it just like looks like it's going in that direction, scroll. I don't need to know what that dude said. I don't need to know what some random person who made a meme, I don't have, I won't even say that. Half the time who you think made the meme didn't make the meme. I'm going to leave that there. But in addition to that, like I don't care. I don't know these people. They're not going to whatever. Um, and I'm not in the space where I am here for that. So there's just stuff I like. I don't even bother. I don't read it. I don't look at it. If it seems like it's gonna be that type of thing, I'm just like, oh, okay. And it is what it is. Um, so more of that, less of the reading stuff that you know is gonna upset you, less of talking to people who you know will upset you, even if it's your mother. Keep it light and quick, and check in with that person and then be on your way. Get off the phone as quickly as possible. Oh, hey, yeah, I was just trying to check in and see how you doing. All right, bye. Yeah, I'll call you back. Whatever. Just like shut it down before it can even go left, because there's enough going on. Nobody has time to keep compounding negativity. There's no sense in engaging in things you know will upset you, so just don't. um and that will keep your level of anxiety and just like being everybody's a lot of people are done and feel like we're done, but it that will lighten the load of your feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and everything else if you're just not even dealing with that type of stuff. So that was like 3 points. I like keeping things at concise numbers. Do I want to add on to that? You know what? Okay, bonus. So control the way you engage with other people, because that you can control. You don't even have to avoid yourself to not be a nasty. I was gonna say to not be a nasty person, but most of us aren't nasty, but we can say things that just don't land in the right place. And there are people who are sensitive too. I will say a lot of time, like you can control what you say, but you can't control how the listener will feel. And that's something to always remember. And so if you just feel like you're not gonna say the right thing, um, don't talk about that subject or avoid the conversation entirely. Maybe avoid talking to people entirely. Have that conversation with a journal, and then, re engage people when you're in a better space to communicate, without like triggering, upsetting, alarming, cursing out people or whatever. Now, some people deserve to be cursed out, and let me not ignore that. But yeah, just like work out what's in your head first. um or like go for a walk or go exercise or something. Now, if you know people in your life who never take what you say the right way, you might want to avoid talking to them during that time at all. If not, just like again, keeping it light and quick and moving on. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I hope those tips are helpful to you. If you would like more, I feel like this is like a planned video, but it's a chit chat. But I'm gonna say, if you'd like more, if there's some you want me to elaborate on, just like let me know, and I'll do that. On to the next chit chat topic. What were we gonna say before I thought of doing this? Yeah, I don't know. My sleep pattern has been off because of the COVID set scheduling. I started another business, and I was tired. This is kind of back on the same thing. I was tired. I was so exhausted because like this was like the first night when like all the stuff started in the different cities, and talking to my friend until like 4 a.m. And then I was working on something, and then I went to sleep and I had something related to the second business that I needed to be alert for, in case someone had to call me. And that person didn't call the correct number, which I think may have factored into it. But either way, like I didn't hear my phone, and normally I can hear very well in my sleep. And if like a bell, a chime, an alarm, anything goes off, I wake up. Um, Either I was way exhausted from everything, or um, the other number this person rang didn't ring to my phone like normal, and slept through it. That person had some issues on their end. Um, I got charged for something that I shouldn't have gotten charged for. Not by that person, but by a third party I was dealing with at some other stuff. Because I'm not a fan of that third party, but I used that third party. Anyway, it was just like a crazy day. And so I was late getting something to a client because actually it stems back. I should have like really put my foot down and insisted on that person doing things. So initially, I was gonna do something for that person as a courtesy, and also just like to give me less to think about later because they'd already have what they needed and to finish like the job for that for my business. Um, but that person was like, no, no, just wait till then to do it. That way, everything is on the table and me, on their end, like they were thinking I didn't trust them, and I'm like, no, no, it's fine. Let's just do it this way, because I'm like, if you do something, I could go after you. Like, I didn't say that, but through through the proper channels, not like hunt the person down, but everything, yeah, it's well I cover like all of the ends on documenting things and like knowing where to go, something goes left, like whatever. So that was all in place. So I'm like I don't mind. It'll make things easier for you if we go ahead and do this now. But they were like, no, no, trying to like, build trust with me. So they're like, no, let's just wait till then, and that way, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, fine. Well, then rolled around, and had I have just gone ahead and insisted on doing it that way, that person would have been ready to do what they needed to do on that day. But I was like, okay, that's nice, whatever. And here I am exhausted, sleeping through the phone call, and that person didn't have what they needed, and so they were late, but they were still in the area where I needed them to be. And it was like, so I was like, oh, perfect, this isn't going to be too late. So then that person realized that they forgot something at home that they needed, so they had to go travel like half an hour away and then half an hour back to half an hour to home, half an hour back, and then yeah, then they could do what they needed to do. And by then, like, I had a client that was waiting on them. And so I'm like communicating with the client, and the timelines are changing. And that person was like, I was 3 hours late delivering to the client what they needed. But it worked out because it's a client that I have done a lot of like helpful things for, with it being COVID-19 and their money and all that stuff, like, waiting to charge them um when their money had settled and all this stuff. So it was okay, and they're still like a regular with me, so it worked out and I learned a lot. But it was very uncomfortable and very tiring for me on Saturday with that going on. And then on top of that, another client filed a credit card dispute um for our transaction. And I think I in looking up the person's address so that we could deliver a service to them, I peeped that their property is in pre-foreclosure. So I'm not even trying to be shady, like not at all, because like this second business I've started, I'm enjoying being able to help people during hard times. But something I forgot in this is that like a lot of, and other business owners have said this, like fraud claims and chargebacks and stuff are higher when people are going through things with their money. And so, like on a wide scale, people are trying to return things to stores and whatnot. So this client disputed the charge with their credit card. Fortunately, I had a written record of them agreeing to the charge, because I'm always very careful, like, okay, this is what your total is going to be, this is when I'm going to charge your card, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, perfect, great, that's great, that's a good price, like whatever, blah blah blah, all in writing. So I just took screenshots of those conversations, and like the documentation on my end for when the client booked the service and all that stuff, and sent it over, and hopefully the bank will sit down somewhere, because they disputed it through their bank. Hopefully both client and client's bank will sit down somewhere and leave me alone, and move it right along. So that's what's been going on with me. This is kind of a long video. I wanted to give you guys a long video just so you could just like, I don't know, play it in the background or vibe out or whatever, or just like not you like it. I don't know, like for me, if I like the person, I like long videos, because it almost feels like we're just like having a conversation and relaxing, or like, like I'm doing something around the house and they're just talking to me in the background, kind of. And that's what I wanted to create, just something that's not chaotic or crazy. You don't have to worry about like someone popping on to the video or the live stream or whatever and talking crazy. It's just me just like telling you what's been going on, and whatever. Chit-chatting. So you know what? Let's see how you guys like this video. I'm gonna cut it off here at about 47 minutes. Let me know how you guys are doing. Legitimately, how you're doing in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in another video sometime soon. I have another bag unboxing, but I don't really want to do it because I just did one. Actually, I filmed this bag unboxing like weeks ago. Well, like a couple weeks ago. But the camera was too zoomed in. I don't know how I did that throughout the whole video, but I did do it late at night and probably just was tired and wasn't paying attention, or wasn't looking at it through the screen on the camera or whatever. But yeah. So I'm gonna have to redo that, or maybe, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna redo the whole thing, but I'm gonna redo parts of it just so you can see the bag better. But I actually carried that bag today, and I like it. Well, you know what? Like, it's small. It's really small. But I love the color, and I love the leather, and it's cute for like if you were just like running out with something quick. So my problem was I couldn't fit my phone and my lip gloss in it. That was the problem. It's that small, but or that thin. But it's not a proper bag. It's a wallet on a chain. So it wasn't intended to carry a bunch of stuff anyway. I was just surprised that you can't fit a today's sized phone plus a lip gloss, but yeah, anyway. So I am going to see you guys in the next video very soon. Stay safe, stay clean, stay organized. I was about to say something else, but yeah, let's work on those three things. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. On top of that, take care and be well. See you guys soon. Bye now.